This module focused on the fundamental principles that make real estate purchase contracts valid, enforceable, and ethically sound under Arizona law. It examined how legal requirements, statutory obligations, and court interpretations all work together to protect both parties in a real estate transaction while ensuring transparency and fairness. A valid purchase contract begins with a clear and accurate property identification. Under Arizona's Statute of Frauds, every real estate contract must be in writing and must include a definite property description sufficient to identify the land being sold. A simple street address may not always be enough. Legal descriptions or assessor parcel numbers are often required to remove ambiguity. Without this clarity, a contract cannot be enforced or recorded. Beyond property identification, every enforceable contract must contain the essential legal elements: legal capacity, competent parties, lawful purpose, certain specificity, and mutual assent. Each element ensures that the parties understand what they are agreeing to, that the contract is for a lawful purpose, that the terms are clear and definite, and that all parties freely consent. Mutual assent, the meeting of the minds, is achieved when both parties agree to identical terms without misunderstanding or coercion. The module also emphasized how counteroffers and verbal agreements affect enforceability. A counteroffer legally rejects the original offer and creates a new one, meaning the initial offer can no longer be accepted. Mutual assent is achieved only when both parties agree in writing to the same terms. Verbal agreements, regardless of intent, are unenforceable under the Statute of Frauds, which requires all real estate contracts to be written and signed. Timing is also critical. If an offer expires before acceptance, no contract exists. A valid contract also depends on the integrity of its participants, leading to the discussion of the bona fide purchaser, a buyer who acquires property for valuable consideration in good faith and without notice of any prior claims. This protection ensures that honest buyers who rely on public records and act diligently are shielded from unrecorded or hidden interests. Recording deeds and conducting title searches are key steps in maintaining bona fide purchaser status. Equally important are the factors that can invalidate consent: duress, undue influence, misrepresentation, and fraud. Contracts signed under coercion or manipulation are voidable, as they lack free will. Misrepresentation, whether innocent or intentional, occurs when false information induces another to act. Fraud involves deliberate deception, such as concealing property defects or forging signatures, and can void a contract entirely. Arizona courts, particularly in Hill v. Jones, Stewart v. Woodruff, and U.S. Life Title Co. of Arizona v. Gutkin, have consistently held that honest disclosure and voluntary consent are essential for enforceability. The module then examined how marital status and mental capacity affect contract execution. Arizona's community property laws require both spouses to sign any agreement involving community property, ensuring both have consented to the transaction. Mental capacity requires that parties understand the nature and consequences of the agreement. Contracts signed by someone lacking capacity are voidable. Brokers and agents must verify authority, observe signs of incapacity, and act with care to protect clients and maintain compliance. Finally, the module addressed how the death of a party can impact contract viability. If a binding contract exists before a party's death, it generally remains enforceable, and the deceased's estate must complete the transaction. This principle, known as equitable conversion, treats the buyer as the equitable owner and the seller's estate as holding title in trust until closing. However, if death occurs before offer acceptance, the offer terminates immediately, as mutual assent can no longer be achieved. In summary, Arizona's laws governing purchase contracts are designed to uphold fairness, certainty, and enforceability. Clear property descriptions, lawful intent, mutual consent, capacity, and written documentation form the legal backbone of every valid contract. Real estate professionals carry the responsibility of ensuring all these elements are present, guarding against fraud, and navigating complex issues such as spousal consent, mental competency, or death of a party. By applying these principles, brokers and licensees protect not only their clients, but also the integrity of Arizona's real estate industry. Key takeaways to remember: contracts must be in writing and include a definite property description. Essential elements: capacity, competence, lawful purpose, specificity, and mutual assent must be present for enforceability. Counteroffers replace prior offers. Verbal agreements are unenforceable. Bona fide purchasers are protected when they act in good faith, pay value, and lack notice of other claims. Contracts signed under duress, undue influence, or fraud are voidable. Both spouses must sign to transfer community property. Parties must have mental capacity. The death of a party after contract formation does not automatically void the agreement. Performance passes to the estate. These principles together ensure that Arizona real estate transactions rest on a solid legal and ethical foundation, protecting all parties from invalid, coerced, or deceptive agreements.